In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 most frequently asked questions about starting a streaming service right now. Question number 1 is, where to get the content? Number 2, do I need money to start? Number 3, do I need certain permissions to show different movies or shows? Number 4, how do I contact for permission to use people's content? And number 5, I want VC funding. Where do I start? All of those things are going to be considered right now. Question number 1, where to get the content? That's a really good question. Before we delve into how you can get different rights for popular shows and movies, it's important to consider what is your main objective for your platform. Creating your own streaming service, there are so many different cases we hear. For example, some are creating it for their own country or for their own region. So it is a very specific dialect or language. Maybe they're trying to create content from indie directors or indie films that aren't getting distribution. You want to showcase that on your platform. Again, it has to go back to what you're creating this for. In the comments section down below, write down what you're trying to create. Why are you creating this platform? Then we can determine later on, do you need to reach out to someone to get their permissions or enter a contract for the distribution rights? All of those things. Also, keep in mind, I am not a lawyer. When you're going through this process and you're going into contracts and all those things, it's really important that you talk to the right people to be able to represent you when you're going for those rights and everything like that. Do not just watch this video and think that you can hit up Warner Brothers, Sony, and be like, yeah, I would love to start using your films. Give me that film. No, bottom line, you have to talk to a lawyer and a representative, an agent that is directly tied to distribution. Question number 2, do I need money to start? No, not really. Why do I say that? You gotta first figure out, does anyone even want your platform? Does anyone even want your streaming service? So before you get started trying to go for distribution and go all out and all those things, you need to first put up a landing page, a site to show this is what I plan on delivering. Are you interested? The second part is community. Do you have a community that wants your content? Are they raising their hand that they're willing to pay for it? Without that, it's going to be really hard for you to negotiate to get those distribution rights, to get those streaming rights for that type of content. Let's go to the third question. Do I need permission to show a particular show or movie? The simple answer is yes, you need permission. If it's copyrighted, if you see anything at the end of a film saying that this is someone else's material, you have to ask. Right? So a lot of times on the comment section in certain videos we'll say, like, great, I have the website, when can I start streaming Avengers? Guess what, man? You're probably not going to be able to stream Avengers legally. And that's what the whole point is. These videos are how to do it legally. To do this legally, you have to ask permission. And if they say no, that's okay. You can go back and ask again, but you need to have reasons why they should actually do this. This comes back to leveraging your audience. If you have an audience to be able to say, hey, I've got this many people that are willing to pay for this kind of content, can I have the rights to do this? Then you can negotiate and go from there. Again, you're going to need to have a lawyer or you're going to need to have a team that represents you in order to do this. Now, there's other websites and things like that that you can go to, and they already have a negotiation for different types of content, but make sure you understand the rules and conditions of those websites. And again, there's a case-by-case basis, so look into what that means. So this leads right into question number 4. How do I contact for permission? This is really going to be a case-by-case basis depending on what kind of content you're trying to stream. Simply put, this comes down to who owns the rights and what is their process in order to have streaming and distribution rights. You need to talk to that entity to find that out, and it's going to vary depending if it's an independent film or if it's a major blockbuster film. It all depends on the studio, all of those things. You need to first look into their standard procedure of how to go forward. And we're looking at question number 5. I want VC funding. Where do I start? First of all, you've got to really look at, if you're trying to create a startup and you need funding, you need a roadmap of what your company is going to be doing and all of those things. This is a very detailed conversation of structuring a startup, but the basics is you can get funding from people, but they need to understand why they're risking the money on you for your startup to exist. Why do you need VC funding versus bootstrapping? Have you bootstrapped? So are you, making sure that you're being really lean with your money, you're investing in yourself, you're structuring it. And now to really make it $1 billion company, now you need an injection of money, or you need backers, or you need people in the industry. Why do you need VC funding? With that, you need to figure out your long tail. This isn't just a hobby. If you're really trying to go into VC funding, you need to figure out how this is going to be sustainable, why people need to invest in you and your dreams. I've been in quite a few startups, and it feels like I'm 75 years old. It's taxing to go VC funding. Okay, it can be fun, but you got to really be about it. If you're going for VC funding, you need a board, all of this stuff. They're looking for their return. If you can't clearly show how you're going to be scaling this out and make their return, make them several times the amount that they put in, you need to restructure or have proof of concept that you're the right candidate. The most important thing to consider when you're creating a streaming service is just go out there, test your idea, have a landing page, and really see if people want this. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink this, that you need the tech and all of this stuff. Go out there, because tell you the truth, a lot of people, they need to examine if they should even have a streaming service. If you go out there and you say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and people are like, no, I'm not willing to pay that. Guess what? You need to rethink what's valuable enough for people to transact with you to make it worth it. If you can't find that out, there's no point of you creating a streaming service. Go out, validate your idea, really think about what makes your streaming platform useful, or for a certain demographic, what are people missing? And then that's going to make you successful. So down below, let me know what kind of streaming service or platform you're trying to create. And if you have more questions, we'll do another roundup FAQ video. We'll see you in the next video.